Hi there, my name is Lindsey Beasley, and this is the Being Easy podcast, a podcast about knitting, crochet, and vintage, and probably a few other things eventually. And this is podcast number 1. I can't believe it. It's the day after Christmas, and this is one of my goals for the new year, 2018, to start a podcast. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I finally decided today is the day. So here we go. I guess I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. I'm 26 years old. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. Married to my husband, Justin, for 3 years. And yesterday was our 9th Christmas together. I can't believe that. We've been together for 9 Christmases. That's amazing to me. Doesn't seem like it's been that long. Sierra, sorry, my dog's shaking the table. And on that note, I have 3 fur children. 3 dog fur children, Max, Herschel, and Sierra, and 2 cat children, which is a different kind of fur children. If you have cats, you understand. Odd and Sassy, who we call Sasquatch. So, a little bit of my fiber cred, air quotes fiber cred, is I started crocheting when I was 8 years old. My mom taught me how to crochet. She always crocheted, and I decided one day that I really wanted to learn. So she taught me, and I didn't like it. I was terrible at it, and I've been terrible at it my entire life. I can do it, but I don't like to. That's usually how it goes. When I was in college, though, I decided that I needed something to do that wasn't reading a book, because I read a lot for school. So I learned how to knit using YouTube. And it's been downhill ever since. It's kind of turned into an obsession, as you can see. And a business, believe it or not. My business started, 5 or 6 years ago now, as an Etsy shop. And my husband and I travel all over Missouri and sometimes into Illinois for markets and fairs and stuff. And we sell our knitting. I sell my knitting, crochet, and vintage items. I'm a big vintage lover. I've always loved vintage stuff. I've hunted for it my entire life with my parents, and as an adult, that's been no different. You should see my house. It's covered in everything you can possibly imagine. So let's go into whips. Okay, these are my currently in progress things. I just finished a lot of the stuff that I had started this past year because I had a goal of finishing all of my current whips before January 1st so that I could start fresh in the new year. Big goal, but I did it. It was awesome. I did a dance. Not kidding. So, my first work in progress is my husband's socks. Christmas socks for next year, because I'm terrible at knitting socks. I like knitting socks, but I'm dead awful at it. It's terrible. It takes me forever to make a pair of socks. So I've recently started knitting them 2 at a time, top down, 2 at a time, with an afterthought heel, and I've liked that quite a lot more than I thought I would. So here are my husband's socks for Christmas next year. They're in my Party of 5 Crafts Letters to Santa Claus bag. There's the tag. I got it last year for Christmas, and I don't know if she has any left or not, but I love it. It's adorable. These are the socks. There you go. It's kind of my own shenanigan pattern, and the stitch marker, the progress keeper here, is from the Corner of Craft. She does these amazing little beaded, sewn together stitch mark progress keepers. And I love them. I have several, and I just love the little details in it, like the little metallic bead for his belt buckle. It's adorable. So these are my husband's socks for next year for Christmas, and they are No Makers fruitcake. They're really cute with Nitpick Stroll Merlot Heather for the heels, toes, and cuffs. They're just 76 stitches, cast on, 2 inches of ribbing, and then I'll knit the leg to be probably about 6.5, 7 inches, and then the foot will probably be around, God, he has a big foot, 7 inches too, before I put the heel and the toe in. So, alright, my next whip is a shawl that I started recently. It's out of a Homespun House, DK weight, and the color is called Tidal Pool. There's the label. I really love this yarn. It's definitely more of a rustic wool. If you don't like a scratchier wool, then this is definitely not the yarn for you. I really enjoy it. I like a rustic wool. I like the way that it feels, and I really like the texture that feel gives, if that makes any sense. And the shawl that I'm making is called the Daydreamer Shawl, and that's what it looks like. That's the shawl. It's super cute, and it is by Annie Hass. This Bird Knits Design. I bought it on Ravelry, and this is what I've done so far. Really not that much. I've got a little bit of lace here. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing the lace or not, right or not, but I'm going with it. I've committed. I'm not ripping it out. You only live once. That's what I've got, and I like it. It's going to be really pretty, I think. The story with this yarn is I saw it and I thought I'd make my mom mittens with it, and when I got it, I realized it deserved to be something much grander than mittens. So my mom was SOL. So it became mine, and I'm making a shawl out of it. And I have another corner of craft stitch marker there, a little rainbow sheep. The next whip that I have is a little last bit of Christmas knitting, pretty much. It is a hat for my cousin's son. He's my nephew, air quotes. I'm Aunt Lindsey to them. And this is a hat for Bug. It's called the Cable and Rib hat. And I just finished one. I made one for my husband too, for Christmas. And it's another Ravelry find. It's really cute. I love it. I don't remember if I paid for it or not. I don't think I did, but don't quote me on that. But that's the pattern, and that's what it'll look like when it's done. So, then I have one other hat to make in that same pattern, and then that's it for my Christmas knitting. I know it's after Christmas, but I wasn't going to see them until this coming weekend anyway, so I've been working on socks because they take me forever. So, finished objects. One thing that I did finish this last week was a pair of socks for my husband. First pair of top down, 2 at a time, after that heel socks ever. And this is what they look like. Yellow heel. This is, this blue and white is Yarn Jar. The Yarn Jar shop. Oh, where's the tag? It's the Yarn Jar. It's called Bigger on the Inside. It is her Doctor Who colorway. But my husband is a blues fan. Go Blues! St. Louis Blues fan. And he saw it and he said, those need to be blue socks. So I got the Nitpick Stroll Dandelion, wherever that tag went. Who knows? And I made them for him. The only problem is that I kind of messed them up. Oops. a bit too long in the foot because I didn't account for needing to take out stitches in the blue to add in the heel. So they're about an inch too long. But he doesn't care because he'll wear them with a pair of socks underneath them to go to the hockey rink. So he loves them. He's happy with them. He hasn't worn them yet, but I'm sure he will soon. Another FO is this pair of socks, which I started, if this gives you an idea of how bad I am at knitting socks, way back in May for one of my best friends, Melanie. For her birthday, I told her I would make her a pair of socks, and I finished them a couple of weeks ago, I think. And the yarn is, the stripes is the yarn jar again, and it's her Mrs. Potts colorway. I really love it. Melanie is a big Disney fan. She loves Beauty and the Beast. It's her favorite thing in the world right now. And the gray for the heels, toes, and cuffs is Leading Men Fiber Arts London Fog. So, those will be going to her soon, hopefully, because I'm tired of looking at them. Okay. So, my next finished object is a shawl. Now, don't crucify me. It has fringe, and I haven't blocked it yet because I need more blocking mats, and I haven't done it yet. It's Ley Lines by Joji Locatelli, and that's it. I really like it. It's what I thought it would be, and it was pretty easy. It was pretty mindless. If you do not like ribbing, this is definitely not the shawl for you, because it's literally sections of ribbing. That's it. And it's very pretty, and when I block it, it's going to grow. I'm 100% sure that this is going to be gigantic when I'm done with it, and I'm okay with that. The yarn is Whip Yarns in their To the Moon and Back colorway. I got it from Etsy. As far as work knitting this would be the section where I talk about my work knitting stuff that's going into my Etsy shop. And at the moment, there's not a whole heck of a lot. I've been doing some things. My goal was to get headbands, face scrubbies, and stuff like that done by Christmas. And for the most part, I've done that. Gift knitting kind of got in the way of that, like it usually does. It gets in the way of everything, right? But I've got some of those things done. Both the face scrubby and the headband included in November and December's subscription for My Delight box. If you follow them on Instagram, you can see pictures of people really loving those items, and I'm really happy they love them. They're made out of 100% cotton yarn, and they're great for holding your hair back. The headband's great for holding your hair back for washing your face, wearing a mask, that sort of thing. And the face scrubby is a great replacement for cotton pads you can get from the drugstore. Instead of purchasing and repurchasing and throwing away those cotton pads, you can just buy some of these face scrubbies and just reuse them, wash them, reuse them, instead of spending money and adding to landfills. So into the fun part. Christmas! It was yesterday! How can you forget Christmas? Christmas is great. So I wanted to share with you some of my Christmas gifts that I got that I'm really excited about. The first one being I got from my mother-in-law a ball winder and a Swift. So excited. Now my husband doesn't have to hold my yarn. I'm pretty sure that's why she bought them for me, because he said something about having to hold my yarn so I can wind it. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Mom. My mother-in-law also got me a new drop spindle. It's a Shocked high-low 4-inch, I believe is what it is. Well, yep, 4-inch. And I'm super excited about it. I've been wanting one a new one forever. I have kind of a cheapy one, and I'm hoping that I will get better at spinning with this year. Then my mother-in-law also got me this great lantern. My husband and I really love to camp. We camp pretty much all summer and into the fall, even into the late fall even. We have a camper and we really enjoy that. My husband and I met through Scouts, and we were camping all the time with Scouts in tents, and we feel like we have paid our dues, so we bought a camper so we don't have to put up tents anymore. So this guy I'm really excited about. My mother-in-law was tired of watching me try to knit by campfire and strain my eyes, so she got me a lantern. She also got me 3 skeins of this Patton's Classic Wool Roving in this really beautiful color called Low Tide. It is gorgeous, and I have something in mind for this, which I will hopefully mention later when I start it in the near future. Another whip. It's terrible. And she got me 2 balls of this Patton's Croy Socks FX. And I don't know if this is going to be a skein for me, or I have some nieces and nephews that need socks or want socks. Want socks, that's it. They don't need them, they want them. And I think that this might go to them because it's a little bit more user-friendly, air quotes, to the non-fibery people and their mother who hates when I give them things that are not machine washable. Yeah, it's a problem. Then I come home from that. This is Christmas Eve. My husband and I did our Christmas Eve, and he gives me my presents, which he was really excited to give me. It was adorable. He was so cute. And he gave me this guy. He gave me a Ron Weasley, because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Harry Potter, go Gryffindor. I'm a Gryffindor. I don't care what Pottermore says. I'm a Gryffindor. And then attached to Ron are these really cute stitch markers, this snitch, and this extra little Edison bulb lightning bolt from Knitty by Nature on Etsy. Then he gave me a set of Knit Picks Majesty interchangeable knitting needles, which are really cool. I've never had a set of interchangeable knitting needles. I know, boo on me, right? So I'm really excited to use these, maybe with that new yarn that I got. Who knows? My husband also got me something else. This is the last thing. So every year he's basically got me a Doctor Who project bag, which I'm really happy about because I love Doctor Who. I'm a nerd. I'll admit it. And he got me this Doctor Who project bag with all the doctors on it in this lovely rose fabric from Little Fish Stitches. Love her podcast. And he got this for me because he got into my Etsy and was looking at my Etsy and favorites, and he found this. What he didn't know was that shortly before he ordered this, I had a yarn wish granted by Little Fish Stitches for a project bag, and I got this one from her for Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, which I really love. Thank you. And that's what I got for Christmas. I'm really happy with what I got for Christmas and really excited for what I got for Christmas. I can't wait to use it. Okay, so acquisitions. What have I gotten recently? I've gotten a lot. A lot of knitting. A lot of yarn. Okay. So, first of all, I've gotten, including the fruitcake yarn for my husband's Christmas socks, I've gotten this Gnome Acres Under the Tree, which is on their Bungalow Gnome, which is 75 BFL 25 nylon. And I love this. I love this color. It's great. It's very pretty. And I also got this guy. It's called 'Tis the Season. And it's also Gnome Acres. I got this from a D-stash, though, on Etsy. And this one is their House Gnome, which is 75-25 merino nylon. And it's very pretty. This is my favorite color, this green kind of teal color. I love that. I've also gotten this guy, which is a Cascade 128. And I got it at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri, in their yarn patch shop. And I thought, this is going to be a really pretty hat when I get to it. So I've gotten some Christmas colored kind of heels, toes, cuffs yarn from Knit Picks, and it's just, can you guess what that one's gonna go on? 'Tis the Season. It's perfect. It matches great. These are great Christmassy colors, and I love them. They're all Knit Pick Stroll fingering yarn, and I love Knit Picks. They ship super fast. If you need a color, a complimentary color for anything ever, go to Knit Picks, because I'm pretty sure that they'll have it. It's like the art palette or like paint chip cards for knitters and yarny people. It's great. One other Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted was this guy. This is a new one. It's 3 Irish Girls Adorn Luxe. It's 85-15 merino nylon, and the color is called Guinness. I fell in love with this color. I saw it on Instagram and on other podcasts, and I was like, I need that for me. And I have plans for this. So once the Daydreamer shawl is done, I'm going to get another skein of this guy, and I have a plan for it. You'll see. But this is again from 3 Irish Girls, and I just want to say thank you so much for granting my wish. I was so excited to get this in the mail, and to have someone grant this wish, it just meant the world to me. It was great. Okay, so a couple more non-yarny acquisitions that are still pretty crafty and fun are this guy, which is spectacular. It's a forest on a spool. Come on, how could I not? I have no clue what I'm going to use it for, but I had to have it in my life. It needed to live with me because it's amazing. You might have seen it on my Instagram, to be honest, because I had to take a picture of it. But it's got little glitter on it, and it's a forest on a spool. It's amazing. And I also got this guy, which is wire tinsel. And you can make bows and whatnot. Again, I have no clue what I'm going to use it for. But it's amazing. Maybe Yarny Advent Exchange next year. That would be awesome. And you can reuse it, which is even better. And also, this cute little box. It's cable stitched. It's so cute. I got it at Walmart. Of all places. Walmart. I got 2 of them. They were the last 2 they had. I looked everywhere for them. And I had to have them because it's nitty. How could I not have it? It's nitty. Okay, so now we're down to vintage. And I'm super excited to show you guys some of the new things that I've gotten and made this year. The most recent ones. Because there's a lot. So one of the things that I really, really love that I just got a few weeks ago is this creepy little Santa. He looks so cute. I love his cat eyes. He does his makeup better than me. Because I don't wear makeup. I really don't. He's so cute. And I love him to death. And every time I look at him, he just makes me smile. Which is the point of everything. Whether it makes me smile or not. Okay. So this is... Sorry, it's dusty. It's hanging on my wall. One thing that I recently got this is one thing that I got recently that I really, really, really love. I saw it at the antique store and I had to have it. And I put it in layaway because my husband loves me. And went back to get it. And this is what it is. This is it. It's a boy needle and shuttle. Needle, shuttle, and bobbin tin. It's an advertising piece from the early to mid 1900s. And what you do is around the edge of the tin are all these numbers. And you figure out which number coordinates to your sewing machine. So say you have a New England Queen sewing machine. And it's number 14. So what you do is you turn this dial to number 14. There's number 14 there, right? Then you open the door and you pull out the needle for your machine. I really love this style. The details on it are absolutely stunning. It's really gorgeous. The only thing I wish is that it had the bobbin pins. It has these pinch clips that go in it that are supposed to hold the bobbins that it doesn't have anymore. And also the little wood needle tubes that it would have had in it. And I don't have any of those, unfortunately. And now since I'm looking for them, I can't find them anywhere. Go figure, right? It's usually what happens. So this is the next thing that I have air quotes made / found this month. This is the next thing that I have to show you that I'm really in love with right now. It's gorgeous and I've wanted one forever. And I've been saving ornaments to make one for a million years, and I finally did it this year. It's this guy. Hi. It is all vintage ornaments, most of which were actually my grandmother's and my great-grandmother's ornaments that they hung on their Christmas trees. And I love it. It's gorgeous. It's even better than I thought it would be. And you've probably seen a million pictures of it on my Instagram. And I put this together. I'm hoping that maybe next year I'll have a few in my Etsy shop to sell. I think that that would be really cool to have some for sale. Is podcasts. I know a lot of podcasters share this with their viewers and watchers / friends. And I really like to talk about mine because I feel like I get to know these people, and I really enjoy getting to know them because here in St. Louis don't really have a lot of friends that knit, and I don't really have that community here other than my mom who crochets, which is always fun when we're in public. But podcasts that I really love and watch consistently are The Yarn Hoarder. I love Amber. I've met her before. I met her last year at YarnCon, which I get to go to again because my husband, again, loves me very much. Another podcast that I really like is The Knitted Cupcake. I love Lacey. I met Lacey through Instagram 2 years ago for Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, and I'm sorry, you can probably hear my dogs over there having a blast with their Christmas present. Guys, I met Lacey through Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted in 2016. She had a wish and I was able to grant it, and I've given her prizes for her podcast too, Be Easy by LB. And another podcast that I really enjoy is The Grocery Girls. Of course, it's like the gold standard of podcasts. Tracy and Jody are amazing. They're hilarious. They never cease to make me laugh. And when I feel like I want to watch podcasts and I don't have any new ones to watch, I go back and watch theirs because they're hilarious. It's like talking with your best friend. The other one that I really like is Little Fish Stitches, of course. She's great, and I really enjoy watching her podcast and talking to her. Sorry, throwing the ball for the dog. Like the other podcasts, a couple that I really like to watch. Hey Sister Yarn Company. Their podcast is really great, and so is Mean Girls Knit. Really enjoy listening to them, and they make me laugh. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about is my yarny goals, air quotes. Everyone has New Year's resolutions, and a lot of knitters have yarn goals for the next year. And I'm really excited about it. If I can find my notebook. Yeah, my yarny goals for the next year, for 2018. In my knitter's journal. Yeah. Sorry. So my first goal, especially since I just got this new drop spindle, is to use the drop spindle for at least an hour a week. At least once a week. Because I don't practice with it, and you can't get better if you don't practice. So, because I can't afford a spinning wheel, because the one I want is expensive, I'm going to work on getting better at the drop spindle. 2 is to build up my sock yarn fancy yarn stash. As you can see, I use quite a bit of acrylic stuff for my work knitting, and for personal stuff I use a lot of the more expensive yarn because it's personal use, it's gifts. Why wouldn't you use something extravagant and luxury for something for you? For work knitting, I tend to stick to the acrylics just because, 1, they're cost effective, 2, it doesn't hurt my soul to sell something to someone that I know that they're going to ruin because it's acrylic. And unless you set it on fire, which I don't recommend, or just completely ruin it, I have no idea how you'd ruin it. I mean, it's acrylic yarn. My third one was start a podcast, which hopefully this will work and I can keep doing it. I'm hoping to do it at least once every other week or once a week. I'm not quite sure. We'll see what happens. 4 was finish a pair of socks in a month, which is a big goal for me because I'm terrible at socks. It takes me forever to knit socks. 5 was to make my best friend, my mom, and my cousins socks. They've all asked for socks, and I have not knit them yet, so I need to do that. 6 was make a sweater for me. I've made a couple of sweaters for, like, little ones for kids. I've made one this year for my nephew, Moose, and he's going to get that this weekend. I'm so excited for him to get it. And that's really the only one that I've made for a specific person. And I would really like to make one for me this year. That's one of my big goals. And 7 was Christmas stockings for myself and my husband. I really wanted to make them for this year, but stuff happens. And that didn't. So, those are my 7 Yarny goals for 2018. I don't know if I'm going to add more or not. Probably not. I think 7's a reasonable number. It's a lot. But I've got one checked off as of today, which I'm super excited about. So, I hope to talk to you guys again soon. And I'm super excited to see what you guys have to say about my podcast. And please let me know if there's something I could do better. I know I could not say a lot. That would be good. But sorry if it was a little awkward. It's my first podcast. Give me a break. So, talk to you guys soon. Bye!